Oh, hey, man. I was just sitting here waiting a couple of minutes to start, right? And couple of minutes to start, right? Oh, I got to turn this down over here. Hold on 1 second. Start. Oh, I got to turn this down over here. Hold on 1 second. Start. Oh, I got to turn this down over here. Hold on 1 second. Start. Oh, I got to turn this down over here. Hold on 1 second. Woo! Woo! We just had a time warp, dude. I had the thing queued up on my computer over there. Yeah, sorry about that, Cool Ramon. We are up. Man, I was sitting here practicing, right? I started messing with the whole what is it? The half whole diminish. Okay, now I don't. I turned down the volume over here. So I started messing with this. That sound, right? And before I knew it, it was 7:02, and I was late. So sorry about that, guys, man. Sometimes, here's the deal. Sometimes you get lost in the whole playing guitar thing, man. You just lose track of time. Happy Saturday night. Slow. Dave Strong is here with the wrench. Paul is here with the wrench. Sorry I'm late. Like I said, I just got lost in the moment. And then because I had the future cast pulled up on my computer, my desktop over there, it created a feedback loop. So interesting way to start Synthetic Sentiment. Glad to have you here. Thank you, Paul. Rhonda is here. Yeah, it is a great way to lose time to just, well, hey, let me try a new scale. Yeah, Wavelength, exactly. Glad to have Wavelength here. Glad to have everybody here. Need an AI Brad for tardiness, Dave. Man, I tell you what, I'm not normally tardy, but like I said, man, I picked up one of my old Strats, my old blue Strat, and it just felt like home there for a brief moment. And I got lost in the sound. I got lost in, hey, why don't I use this scale? This is kind of easy. Yeah, so man, I normally, to get that sound, I normally use melodic minor up a half step from the 5 chord. But because, and it's very similar. The two scales are very similar. Hello, Leah. Cool Ramon, glad to have you here. I want to get lost in your rock and roll. There you go. So yeah, that's the deal, man. I'm having a sparkling organic water with you. And man, we're going to have a great Saturday. Thank you everybody for being patient. For not the normal intro and not the normal punctuality. K-Dog, yes, happy Mother's Day to all you mothers, all y'all mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day to all your mothers. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Ah, that's delicious. Absolutely delicious. Glad to be here, man. And look, man, it's been a busy week. Lots of stuff going on. Yes, thank you, Scott. Thank you. Everybody hit the like button on this video. Man, thank you everybody for the support for this channel. We're real close to 16K. So if you have not hit the subscription button, please hit that now. That will help us all. Yeah, it would be great if we got 200 thumbs up tonight. I would love it. Nikos, are we there yet? I haven't even looked at the numbers. Nikos, glad to have you here. And let everybody know I did a good interview on Nikos' channel, and that's up there as well. Everybody check that out. And look, man, it's been a busy day. We've been doing a lot of family stuff. We had some chocolate cake earlier. We got some roses. I went and got some roses this morning for mothers because look, it weren't for mothers, none of us would be here, right? None of us would be here. So, man, you know, it's just great to be here. Lots of cool stuff in the works. Sometimes things don't happen as quickly as you want to do, and I know I teased earlier about good things that are happening to this channel. And there's some little bit of delays with everything that's going on in the world, but man, you keep plugging away and good things happen. So yeah, I don't know if anybody has, sorry to hear that, Paul. That's, but you know what? She did a good job with you, man. Big grill out tomorrow. That sounds good, Dwayne. Everyone bust out the sparkling water. Spoken like a fellow Zion player. Ken, man, glad to have Ken here. Ken watched one of my videos. I wish I knew where that Zion guitar is and I'd pull it out. Ken saw one of my videos and he saw me playing my Zion. In fact, if you look in the products, you'll see a display products or whatever link for this video, for this live broadcast. I tagged, there's a sticker you can buy that has me on it playing at Gazzari's on the Sunset Strip, and I'm playing that Zion Turbo Strat with the black Floyd Rose. There is a picture of me playing that guitar, Ken, on that sticker. Go check that out. Epic shot, man, because Gazzari's is long since gone, and it's one of the legendaries. It's the club where Van Halen got one of their starts on the Strip, right? Playing the Sunset Strip. So, yeah, man, it's a miracle. Here's the thing, man. It was so wild out there in California, and imagine moving out there and then packing up all your stuff and going back across the country. I'm not even sure. I think I might have put all my photos and stuff in a trunk and then shipped it back east. Because, you know, I think I left, because one, I flew back. I flew back when I moved out of California. I just put my rig, I gave the Sky Cap $20 and told him to get my rack with my Soldano preamp and my Mesa Boogie power amp, and here, put this on the plane. I slipped him $20. Back in those days, you could do stuff like that. And he got my rig to Nashville, and I went back. I left LA with very little, but yeah. Fact that I even have any pictures. No, Erickson. I went to Virginia, right, and then stayed at my dad's for a couple weeks, and then he went with me to Nashville, and we got an apartment. And then he went back home, and yeah, so that's how I started in Nashville. But man, Nashville was not the boom town that it is now. So that is the deal. But it's a miracle that I even had any of that stuff from back in those days. But you see, the stuff that I kept is in good shape. So, oh, that's delicious, man. So what's everybody doing? Yeah, my dad is awesome, man. He is awesome. My mom is awesome. Just, you know, lucky that I have them, man. K-Dog Nashville has changed a ton. And it was dead when I moved there in '94, dude. I went, what the heck did I just do leaving LA? Peyton, happy Saturday. Happy early Mother's Day to the moms. Thank you very much, Peyton. Let's see. Oh, Dave had some sushi earlier. I tried to get the wife to go to have sushi today, and she just won't do it anymore, man. She just won't go have sushi. So I don't get to have sushi that much. He said, you got more at Bill's house than... Okay, got my first thumb tendon pain. Got to back off the guitar a few days with my fretting thumb. Yeah, if you get that pain right in here, Nikos, but you can push it out. Push out on if you're driving a car, push that in, push it against your chest, and work that pain out. Work that soreness out. I had a drummer, older drummer that I know is my age, and we sat and had lunch one day, and he goes and gets his hands, looked at by a hand doctor and all that stuff, and the hand doctor told him the same thing: push that pain out, keep those things loose. You don't want to probably stop practicing Nikos, but be wary of that, man. You don't want to injure yourself, man. And if you're playing heavy strings, maybe consider trying some lighter strings. Yeah, stretch the fingers before playing. Scott has got a good point there. And man, I used to get young ladies back in the day to massage this muscle right in here. To keep get the hand. You could get a hand massage, get everything loose. There's a lot of pain that sits in there. Both of these right now for me are sore, and it's painful. But that's one way you can take care of your hands, man. There you go. You have a rubs ball. Okay, that sounds interesting. That might help your hands. Yeah, don't forget to always protect those ears as well. Yes, Peyton. Here's the funny thing, man. I put out a short the other day, and it's like learning to put out short content that's the same style as the regular content I put out each day, right? And I'm getting pretty good at doing the formula. I've got the formula down now. But I put it out on TikTok, right? And it got a lot of views on TikTok, because I'm not a TikToker. I'm an old guy. I don't normally do that stuff. But it's totally different. It's semi-combative being on TikTok and having people say stuff. And I had some guy, because my post was about all the stuff that we older guys went through playing gigs with no monitors and all this kind of stuff. And, this guy was like, you're just glorifying the past. I said, I'm not glorifying the past. I'm just saying doing all that stuff made us a lot tougher than Giacomo Tura, right? Who would fold in some of the situations that we were in, But, man, he said, well, you've got to do this and you've got to protect your ears. And hey, protect what you want. But I stood next to drummers for 30 years with cymbal crashed, on my left ear. I was always to the right of a drummer, at least in Nashville. Man, my hearing is great. My hearing is great. I'm lucky. So, and it is what it is, man. But I think that which does not kill you only makes you tougher, right? And that is the reality. We went through what we went through, our generation, what we went through coming up, man. That's why we survive anything. Giacomo, Turda, bro. Exactly. Man, here's the thing. That whole story, I covered it maybe. I was maybe the third or fourth guy to cover it. That story, every channel's covering that story now. And it's old news as far as I'm concerned. It's old news. But, it's funny that he is, by doing what he did, he's become the poster child for fake guitar. That's not something you want to do, man. There you go, zombie. There you go. Hey, you know what? There's something to be said. It's like I had a buddy, another guy from Boston, Pete, right? And he used to say he would eat fast food once a week just to keep his immunity up. Eat garbage once a week just so his body could handle it. So yeah, that's the deal, man. There you go, Wave. Yeah, that will do it, man. I'd say, man, if you're working in a factory and stuff like those other things you mentioned, that would probably damage your hearing more. Absolutely. Now let's see what's Jack saying. Oh wow, Jack is saying he was at the Troubadour, which is the legendary club down on Santa Monica Boulevard, and the floors in there in the bathroom were so soaked that he saw a girl slip in the spillover, shall we say, in the Troubadour bathroom area. Yeah, man, dude, I can remember. There's across. I think it's in like Newport News or something like that. There's a Fort Eustis. If anybody knows the Virginia area, I think everybody calls it Fort Useless, but it's a military base. And across from the military base were these two little go-go bars across from the military base. And they were two different go-go bars. One was called Buck's Brand, and that was kind of the country themed one. And they served food like they tried as like a steakhouse slash go-go bar, right? But these places were dumps, right? And then the other place was called the Junction. And we'd call up and go, dude, there's a function, right? And that would be code word that we're going to go to the Junction. And look, go-go bar is just basically a girl in a bikini kind of dancing around. And but man, that Junction place, dude, the bathroom would always be like that, of just draft beer on the floor, if you know what I mean. Recycled draft beer. It was awful. But man, you know what? Those were the days. Those days are gone. Not doing that anymore. Oh yeah. So Dan is saying now we got a fake guitar player to go with Ken Tamplin. All we need now is a fake drummer. People have alleged there's one guy that does all these super fast. People are alleging that some of those drummers online are faking stuff or using here's the deal, man. You're using triggers to get those huge drum sounds. I don't know, man. I don't have, my thing is keep the technology at bay and my computer is a tape deck, and that's pretty much all I use it for. Although I do, I use the drum machine, and sometimes I use the bass player and the keyboard player thing to just get something quick that I can jam over for a video. But as far as editing and all that stuff, man, I don't really even know how to do that stuff. I know you can. I'm sure I could Google it. That would be an interesting video if I did a video where I showed how these guys did it, and being an old guy figuring out the trick and putting at the beginning of the video, and I'm playing some super fast jazz thing and whatever, and the reality is I just play it at slow speed and then play it at fast speed and just mime it. But man, that would be such a huge waste of time. We all know that trickery can be done. Yeah, 20 jump cuts and all of that stuff. It's a waste of time, man. It's a waste of time you think about how long it takes to do something like that. Okay, so let's think about this. If Rick Beato has 6 people producing and helping him with his content, how many people did Giacomo have helping put his content together? Something to think about. Are those people unemployed, or was he doing it all himself? Or does he have editors that say, hey, I know a way we can make this more impressive? Think about that. Did he act alone, or was there an accomplice? Okay, we're getting into some heavy stuff here. This is heavy stuff on what do you think? Did he have accomplices? Did he have people helping him? Did somebody help him do that? Did somebody do the editing for him? I don't know, man. It's something to think about. So if you've seen Fender using double cream pickups on their Strats with no reference to the color, and Gibbs do the same but call them double vintage white. Musical companion that's an interesting question, and I'm gonna answer it because this is what we're here. We're here for the guitar stuff, right? So and look, disclaimer, I don't you know, I don't know when the patents were and all this stuff, but here's the deal. I know years and years ago that many companies, the only if you wanted two double cream coil pickups, right? You see this humbucker right here. This is a black and a cream, right? And for the longest time, DiMarzio was the only company where you could get a double cream, right? Two white coils, like that color. That was the only company where you could get that because they had done some kind of patent on that, color or whatever. They did some kind of patent on that. So maybe it's because they came up with the super distortion and that was that color. And so then other companies couldn't cop that, right? And so all of a sudden, Gibson has these double white pickups in this new, was it a double shot Les Paul? Now look, back in the day, if you bought a 59 Les Paul back in 1959, underneath the covers of your humbucker, you could have, I think you could have zebra, like this, or you could have two white coils. There were different ones used. They was whatever they had that day is what they used, right? So it was done before, but DiMarzio did their thing and patented it. Now, did the patent run out? And that's why all of a sudden Gibson is doing the double cream, and maybe they're saying Fender is doing it. Maybe did that patent run out, and that's why that's happening now? Or did they get permission from DiMarzio? Or did DiMarzio just say, I don't care, do whatever you want? I mean, I don't know. So that's an interesting thing to think about. But I did notice that when Gibson all of a sudden put out those double cream Les Pauls with two cream pickups, it did make me question, okay, what happened? What happened to all of that? It's something, it's a point to ponder, and thanks for that question. Yeah, we're glad to have Paul here. He's one of the moderators of the channel, and normally he would be with us every morning at 8 a.m., but we missed him, and man, we're glad to have him here on this Saturday night. Yeah, Paul went to a men's breakfast with his church group this morning. That is awesome. That is awesome, man. We got 74 people in here, but only 30 thumbs up. Let's get the thumbs up. Let's try to get this show on the road tonight, and let's see if we can break some records. What's the most people we've had in here on a night? Let's try to, I want to get more stuff going here. Okay, Bad to the Bone Brad, here's a question. Ever have any encounters or stories where someone famous went out of their way to do something extremely cool, trying to spread the good vibes? Yeah, I've told this story before about Charlie Daniels. Charlie Daniels is probably the coolest of all of the random, playing for people and, sharing the stage with and stuff like that. I played one time with Charlie Daniels, and we were playing The South's Gonna Do It Again or something like that. It's a blues. And I took a solo over it. And, when I finished my solo, he walks over and goes, hey, man, nice solo. I mean, nobody does that, man. Nobody does that. Most people are not even, singers aren't even paying attention to them. We had other singers on that show. We were backing all of these different artists, and most of them walk on and they don't even say hello or hey, right on, man, or nothing. They just walk on and ignore the band. Meanwhile, you have to support them, right? But Charlie Daniels saying, hey, I'm going to get you guys, Charlie wants you guys to come up on stage and jam. So, that's as cool as it gets. Nobody invites you up to jam anymore. Nobody jams. There's no tours where it's like some big jam. Now, maybe some of the Marcus Kings and Mono Neon and people like that, they probably do. But the big wigs, the big headliners, and the CMT guys, they don't invite anybody up to jam. There's no jamming. It's just play the hits. Put on your tight pants and play the hits, right? So Charlie Daniels, man, big salute to him. So Jack is saying, Gibson Cream pickup rings don't match the Cream Les Paul pickguard. Yeah, probably not. Jimmy, will do. I will give Ace a hug for you. Hopefully we'll get him in here. Hopefully the family will come in. And Jimmy Neck is a great dude, man. I'm gonna give Jimmy a little blue steel, right? Yeah, man. And Charlie Daniels was awesome. Vi finds out early who's the guitar geek in the audience, and we'll find him out to bring her on stage to jam for a couple minutes. That's cool, Dan. That is cool. Yeah, I guess it still exists, but man, not as much as it should. FMP is talking about how great thou art. I feel like one day I might just on my channel, maybe on a Sunday morning, maybe I'll reach out to one of my church buddies that plays church piano, gospel piano in the black church, and get him to put down a piano track of like How Great Thou Art or Peace in the Valley. And one Sunday morning, you might see me on this channel singing a hymn on a Sunday morning. So stay tuned for that. Maybe one Sunday morning you'll see me in a white suit, and I'll be singing "Peace in the Valley" or "How Great Thou Art" or something like that. I don't know the modern. Gospel and stuff that they play in the churches now. But I would love to sing one of those old timey things, man. That would be fun. I even thought about I could do try to do the choir voices, try to stack some of the parts and stuff like that. So hey, Nikos, that's very noble. Nikos is saying, I've decided I want to use guitar and music to get close to God. That's amazing, man. Elvis gospel is too good, man. And so I would want to do something like that. You got to style the wig right. Exactly. Be careful with Ace and your daughter are on water. Those gators ain't no joke. Absolutely, K-Dog. We just had recently, speaking of gators, in our general area, somebody caught on the ring cam a gator coming up to their front door and then kind of running up the door like this. A huge gator, dude, bigger than me, right? Like knocking on the door, basically. And I could faintly hear a dog. Maybe it smelled the dog or whatever, but it is gator mating season. And I told my wife, I said, see this? When you open that, first of all, before you open the door, listen. Do you hear anything? Because you're going to hear something like that kind of making a sound, right? And anytime I open that door, like, dude, sometimes I'll forget to take the trash out. 4 a.m, I go out, I run out my stocking feet, and I'm dragging the can out there, and told my wife, I always look both ways before I cross that threshold with that trash can, because there could be, they hunt at night. Gators are wandering around, and you got to be careful, man. No worries, Mike. You would have flipped out if you saw the video of this. I mean, dude, this thing was huge. And here's the thing, P-Funk, the little pew-pews that most people have, those little fun little pellets that come out. Most of those will just bounce right off the skull. They literally, their skulls are so hard, it's like a dinosaur. So, man, you just want to avoid them at all costs. And, yeah, I'm just going to stay away from them. They can be in any mud hole, and we've got mud holes. I tell my wife, I always look whenever I come anywhere near an area of water. And here's the deal. We're going to give you some gator tips here. If you see a gator, I know they've told people zigzag do a zigzag. No, now they're saying run straight, run as fast as you can. A gator can run about 11 miles per hour, but it can't do it for an extended period of time. So they get tired very quickly. So that just take off, dude. And if you have to, if it gets a hold of you, you fight it. You strike it in the snout. You try to gouge the eyes. You do whatever, but you don't try to pry the jaw open. You don't try to do that. So yeah, this is a little gator tips, bro. Rhonda's saying machete. Well, I just don't know if I would be carrying one around when I'm walking around the neighborhood. I tell my wife, it's the same thing. P-Funk can attest to this. Whenever you'd leave your apartment in Hollywood and you walk out your front door, you always look both ways. You always keep your eyes behind your head. We're talking about the gator. Oh, running up the site. Can you pull that up on your phone and show them?
Yeah.
She's gonna. You guys need to see this. This will be lo-fi. She'll be showing your.
Lo-fi.
Well, lo-fi is just turning the phone on and letting them see it. But y'all need to see this. Head on a swivel, P-Funk. Exactly. Whenever you leave, and it's the same thing here. You might not be worried about somebody jacking you on Hollywood Boulevard, but you gotta watch for gators. There's coyotes out here. There's foxes. There's snakes. There's snakes. All right, did you find this yet?
Yeah, but are they gonna make it bigger? Or can you make it bigger?
Can you guys see that?
I think it's the end.
Get to the part where it goes up the thing.
Well, it's the end of the video. Well, you're not controlling this very good.
I don't know how to control it. See that thing? Look at that thing, dude. It went up the door.
Hold on.
Show the door part where it goes up the door. Now that's the end of the video.
I know.
Look at that. It's trying to get in the door, bro. Imagine opening your door and stepping on that, bro.
Moving to gator country.
Man, she said he's not.
I told Brad that there was no gators here and no hurricanes here.
She didn't tell me that. I knew better than that.
No, but remember I did tell you that about the hurricanes?
We just survived a tornado. In Hendersonville, before we came down here.
How about the earthquake today in Knoxville?
There was an earthquake in Knoxville?
Yeah, my mom just said it was a 4 point
Well, they're saying that was because of Metallica playing there. Somebody was saying.
Yeah. Hey, look who it is. Did you tell them about the awesome photo shoot that we did?
No. What are you doing, Bubba?
Can you say hi?
Can you say hi to everybody?
Hi.
I think she's tired. She had a whole.
Tired?
Hi. Can I have some little frozen fruit?
Yes, Mama can give you some frozen fruit.
Did you want to tell everybody about your photo shoot?
Yeah, the photo shoot was in my star outfit. That was my favorite print.
Oh, okay. It's a starfish one.
It's a Lily Putz, right?
Yeah, we have a matching outfit.
She likes that. I call it Putz, but it's Lily Pulitzer or whatever, but I'll call it the Putz.
Lily Putz.
So the story is...
Okay, I'm going to let her down.
Okay.
Can you pick Ace up? They want to see Ace real quick.
So I want to tell them the story of Lily Putz. So the story of how these vibrant patterns became to be is because the woman lived in South Florida and had a smoothie stand, and she realized that when she was making these smoothies, splattering fruit all over her t-shirt and her pants or whatever she was wearing that day, and people were like,
so that's why it looks like crap.
Yeah, well, that crap you just paid $350
I did pay for your birthday. Yeah, for your.
And I got the little headband, although this is Victoria's Secret, and I got the sweatpants on.
Can you tell
But
This is the
that is
Acenator.
how, if you think about it, that's how this woman built a company for, I don't know, like they've been in business probably 30-some years, billions and billions of dollars later, because she was getting fruit stains on her clothes. I think it's incredibly like genius. So
I'm not sure that it's genius,
I think it is.
but I guess they've got people.
Yes. Hey, can you tell the rest of the story?
I can.
And that is the rest of the
but
story.
I will say where the company recently failed is my free gift for spending $200 was a deck of cards.
Can you tell the rest
Like,
of the
what am I
story
gonna
of
do with
lollipops?
the deck of cards?
Can you tell the rest?
Definitely off-brand, but what are you gonna do? And then this is Ace.
This is the Acenator.
Mom, can you tell the...
All right, can you give her some fresh fruit and I can get back to work?
It's not fresh fruit. It's your
It's frozen fruit.
It's the acai bowls that you buy.
I got the acai bowl, bro. This is an acai bowl, bro.
52 pickup.
We've got
My brother used to do that to me all the time. He said play 52
yeah,
pickup.
52 pickup. I used to poker. Play
Yes.
Play
They're
poker. Acai. Dude, I'm totally gonna have some acai, bro. Okay. So that's, I think, yeah. So here we are. We'll see. I have a feeling they're gonna bring an acai bowl in, bro. So this is the Acenator. Everybody like his little jacket?
I think they all have to see how disappointing this is the deck of cards. When you look at
Well,
this,
that's actually kind of cool.
no, it's weighted. Like you're like, oh, I'm getting this nice wallet to throw in my beach bag.
Okay.
And then you open it up, and
There's 2 decks of cards.
And I'm like, I just got chipped.
Those are kind of cool.
Not specifically.
And look, man, it's got the Joker, dude.
But come
It's
on.
totally the Joker, bro.
I miss back in the day when they used to send nice beach towels.
Cesar Romero was the greatest Joker, bro. Cesar Romero, bro.
Oh, we
It's
do need
all
to
about
get Ace
this-
a new leash. We lost his leash.
Yeah, he's off the chain, bro.
Yeah. Unless he goes in the
He's
stroller.
wearing a kilt, you. Wavelength, thank you so much.
Thank
We're
you.
going to try to hit the heart symbol. There we go. Everybody hit the like. There we go.
Mia, maybe you can sing one
Thank
of your
you,
songs.
Wave. We're having a fiesta here. It's Saturday. It's the Saturday Night Madness, bro.
G.I. Joe.
She's singing G.I. Joe's theme song.
Can you sing your ketchup mustard song?
Be a mustard and a ketchup. Be a mustard and a ketchup. Be a mustard and a ketchup. Be a mustard and a ketchup.
Okay. Can you sing
Okay,
something
that
a
was
little bit
amazing.
better? Like maybe the Eye of the
Did
Tiger?
we ask for songs?
Yes.
I'm not sure we did. I was
right.
doing a broadcast here.
Oh, well, sometimes we take over.
Yeah, I see that.
Put more thumbs up if you want
More
them.
thumbs up.
If you want Mia and Lisa to
Oh,
stay.
Miami Christine, thank you so much. Thank you. It doesn't see a like thing on
Oh,
there.
it's got an emoji dancing.
It's
they
a.
said.
Thank you so much. You
that's
sent the
cool.
emoji dance. That's the first emoji dance we've ever
How
gotten.
about some thumbs up for Mia and I? Woo!
Woo!
And we'll start
I'm
throwing
gonna give
some
you a
cards
little
and playing
like to
52
see.
pickup.
All right, hold on. I can't hold her and him at the same time.
Okay, let me take Bobo.
Okay.
And you take her.
I think they wanted to see Bobo.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. Here
They-
he is.
Oh, all right. Well, here you go. I guess I'll just be quiet now. You guys run the show.
Okay, Mia, you're up. You're up next. What are you going to talk about?
Well, let's talk about how lollipops got these patterns.
Oh, okay. And what is your favorite pattern?
Starfish.
Starfish. Okay, and can you tell us a little tip about being healthy? What is your favorite tip you want to share?
The favorite tip is exercising.
And how do you exercise?
You run, and even in the gym, you trailers or push-ups.
Oh, push-ups. And what do you like to drink to stay hydrated?
Water is my healthy project.
Project. And man.
All right. How about you guys beat it, man?
Are we killing the vibe?
Yeah. Okay. Out.
Hey, tell them
Out.
that you wanted to
Hey,
take
whoa. Okay, out. Hey. Yeah, this is just yelling and chaos. That's not good. Come on. Out. All right. Later.
Can we go to Billy Idol later?
No, we can't. Here.
Billy Idol.
You really want to go to Billy Idol? It's a little late for that. Yeah, that's so here's the deal. Billy Idol is playing down the road here tonight. And I said, hey, do you want to go to this? And yes, Billy Idol is alive. He's been touring for a while. I interviewed Paul Trudeau on the channel. A really cool guy, man. We had a great interview. And I know how it is when you go out on the road. I didn't like it when people would, hey man, can you get me in for free? If I could get people in for free, I obviously would. But I also didn't want to bother my tour manager all the time and with all these requests and all that. And thank you, Peyton. Yeah, that was a great interview. So I just put a feeler out. I sent Paul, who's playing with Billy Idol, I sent him a message that said, hey, you guys are playing Tampa tonight. Hope you guys have a good show. And I didn't hear back. I was waiting if he had said, oh, hey, dude, are you down here? And if he had said, and then I'd said, yeah, I'm down here. And he said, hey, do you want to come to the show tonight? Well, then I could have discussed it with the fam, and maybe we would have gone to the show. But here's the deal, man. It is kind of rainy. Dave does have a Tampa date listed. Here's the deal, man. Here's the reality of it. Just to get tickets would have been $78 each to go see Billy Idol tonight. That's what, $240 when you add all that up, plus parking, plus drinks, plus whatever else we get. And you're looking at a $300 evening. This was at an amphitheater tonight. It was not at the Seminole Hard Rock. I cannot take Mia to Seminole Hard Rock. It's 21 and up venue. So, I said, hey, do you want to put, man, when you look at the thing and look, man, this is a baby YouTube channel. Spending a third or half of my budget to go see one concert is just not a wise thing right now. If Paul had said, hey man, thanks for doing the interview, and hey, I can get you guys a couple seats. I can't promise you that they're going to be good seats. Then I would have potentially gone to the show tonight. But, just like the guy I know that's playing with AC/DC, I'm not going to hit him up when he gets to town and say, hey, man, can you get us in? Because like I said, man, I know how it is. I know how it is to be on the road. You don't want to ask too much of your, if you're in the band, but you're not, like, your name's not on the bill. You don't want to ask too much of the tour manager. You don't want to be a pain in the ass asking for free tickets, even though, look, there are times when you go, hey, man, I'll get you guys into the show. Come on out. And they will do it. But you don't want to be that guy that's every night, here's my list for tonight. So somebody is saying 80 Billy Idol ticket today is about 29 in 1987, which 29 in 1987 is expensive. That would be $100 night. If you think about it, because what we would have paid in 1987, we would have paid $12.50 probably for a Billy Idol ticket back then. Look, man, I'm all for supporting live music, and I'm with Dave there. I like those smaller venues. Hey, look, if Graham Bonnet comes back down here and I can get a ticket for $40 and we can all go see it, I'll go see that. And those acts, I mean, I'm sure Billy had a good crowd here tonight. So here's the deal. Everybody that's here is helping this channel out. Doesn't cost anything to watch videos. And man, I'm very thankful that, look, man, here's the amazing thing. We'll put out a video tomorrow. Look, here's the deal. Now that we've got everybody here, I've got 2 choices for you for tomorrow, for the interview that we'll put out tomorrow morning, Mother's Day. In fact, you know what? Here's a choice. Do I put out the Vicki Hamilton interview tomorrow, or do I put out Steve Smith product demonstrator for Marshall amps? Which interview do you guys want to see tomorrow morning? Which one? Let me know. Hamilton, Vicki. Everybody's saying Vicki Hamilton. All right. Do we have any more Hamiltons or Marshall? Okay, everybody's saying Vicki Hamilton. So, all right. I need to email her and tell her that it's going to go live in the morning. And we got one from Scott, the Marshall amp guy. I tell you what, dude. It is Mother's Day, so we should probably put Vicki's interview out tomorrow. So I need to remind myself to email her and let her know that that's going live. And she said she would share it on her socials and all that. I don't think she's going to join in the morning, but I could try. And we'll see. The Steve Smith interview is awesome. That is a great interview. And so FMP says he's close to buying a Marshall. Now, I saw in another video, FMP, that Steve Smith says for like gigging and stuff like that, the Marshall Origin is really the most pedal-friendly amp that Marshall makes. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? The Origin stuff is very, very affordable. I'm always cautious. For me personally, I'm always afraid of, like, I don't mind a budget guitar, but I'm leery of budget amps. I'm leery of that because it's just like it gets hot. There you go. Someone's here. Look, we've all, the older Marshalls that I had back in the day, I never had any problems with them at all. So DeSoto says he has an Origin 50. It has no dirt. Yeah, it's not a high gain amp, but from what I hear, they're real good at taking pedals. And I've got a slew of pedals over here. So that's not a problem. Here's the thing, cheap acts safer than a crap amp. I kind of tend to agree with that. I think here's the deal, man. Here's probably one of the most important things we could talk about on this channel. You could probably be better off putting all your money into an amp and having a cheaper guitar than vice versa, having a super expensive guitar and a piece of crap amp. Now, I think a great guitar can make a less quality amp sound good, but here's the deal. I think if you've got a great amp, and you can always change the pickups on your guitar, right? I've got over here the Fender. What is it? What is this called? The Debut series. Got this Fender Debut, right? This is the now I think they're $129 Squire, right? And it's got a thinner body and all that. It's super light. But you know what, dude? I wonder if you put some Mac Daddy pickups in this and redid all the wiring, if you would even, notice that it's an inexpensive guitar. I don't even know that, you couldn't just make that thing sound like $1,000,000. And it plays fine. I got a decent one, right? It looks cool enough. I mean, it doesn't look fancy or anything, but that might be the perfect mod guitar, is this $129 Squire debut, Man, that's the reality. I would almost want to put, I would almost want to rather have that and a really good amp than have a cheaper amp. And look, man, I know people. I'll look in the comments. I'll look in the videos and see if people, say about a certain amp and whether it lasts long or whatnot. I'm always leery of inexpensive amps. I just am, man. So that's the deal. Good amps make junky guitars sound great. Yeah, Bo, there is something to be said, for that. Absolutely. A great amp, man. And look, hey, we're getting the thumbs up are coming. I know we had a little wild excursion with the family dropping in, but man, here's the deal. We're all here on this tone quest, right? Modded Fender Highway 1 has been my main axe for years. Hey, man, the Highway 1, those are really good guitars. Those are really good. I had a Highway 1 for a while. There's a lot of those things, man. And you can put whatever pickups you want. So yeah, you can make those guitars great. Has there ever been a better starter guitar than this Squire? I don't think there probably is. This is a cool axe. Now mine's got a little scratch on it there, and I'm feeling a ding on it. I keep my guitars kind of loosely floating around the room. It's still got the original strings on it. And it's, look, man, if I put a better pack of strings on it, it would be better. But here's the deal. I think this has got 9s on it. And you put 10s on it, it's gonna feel a lot different. But look, man, the action on this thing is pretty damn near perfect for a $129 guitar. There's no sharp edges on the side. And it's a budget guitar, but dude, I've owned worse. And it was one of the things, man. I've got a short where I did on that guitar, and it's gotten a lot of views because people are curious about inexpensive guitars. So that's the reality of all that, man. And we've got 62 people in here. Thank you so much, Jimmy. I appreciate that, man. You're too kind, my brother. Thank you, sir. I just cracked open a second one. Could that mean we're doing overtime tonight? Could we do a little bit of overtime? Maybe we will. I saw another video you playing with Gary Lewis at a Ramada Inn in Florida. Notice you sang the bass lines during Just My Style. Wondering if you could recite a few bars. Yes, I sang the bass part. So I think that song's in A. Don't you know that they're just my sound? Right. So I would do the part where the band breaks in. Don't you know that I'm. I would always do that, and people love to hear a bass vocal. So every time I would do that, I would look at the audience, and they would hear me singing that line, and you just see the smiles on people's faces because there's something about a bass baritone that people like to hear. Here, have the extra magnet. JC is saying, I want to try one of those new guitars with pickups that have the extra magnets in them. I'm not familiar with that. FMP is saying Esteban. He wants me to interview the greatest guitar player of our generation. And that is not Giacomo Turda. It is Esteban. He wants me to interview Esteban. He's saying Esteban or bust. So I found what I thought was Esteban's Facebook, right? And I emailed Esteban and I told him, hey man, I've got a YouTube channel. Would love to interview you via Zoom. Here's the link to my channel. We could plug, he has supposedly on his Facebook show, on his Facebook page, he has a date coming up in Arizona. I said, we could plug your show. Jay, like I said, I wouldn't think that guy was even still like playing gigs or whatever. And on his YouTube page, he put out a song like a few months ago. It was like some old, like the theme to Love Story or something like that, played on classical guitar. Not him, a clip of him playing it, just the sound. But here's the deal, man. You know what? FMP, if anybody, and FMP's been a supporter of the channel for a while, and he wanted to hear from Esteban. So I figure, hey, I didn't see a blue check, but does Facebook even have the blue check? I don't know. Oh, so FMP is saying he has a gig tomorrow. He may, man. I don't remember what the date of the gig was, but the reality is, I reached out to him. Here's something interesting that I did. I reached out to Edward Van Halen's widow, the woman he was married to, not Valerie Bertinelli, but the Janie Van Halen or whatever. I reached out to her. Said, hey, I've got a YouTube channel, would love to have you on. Wouldn't that be an amazing interview to talk to her, right? Did not hear back. I reached out to Kathy Westmoreland, who was the background singer for Elvis that would sing the high soprano, the really high, like wavery female voice in his band. I reached out to her to I said, you know what? They're all dying. All of those people that played with Elvis back in the day, a lot of them are gone. And many of them probably can't operate Zoom and all that other stuff, right? But she was a little bit younger, right? So I thought, maybe I can get her on the channel. No answer. You email, look, how do you get in touch with people these days? Facebook or whatever, you send them a DM, and most of the time people don't respond. So here's somebody that says, Janie is likely afraid you will sandburger over alligators that she abandoned Ed near the end. Now, Christian, I would never do that. I would never do that, because that's not why I would want to interview her. I would not trying to sandbag anybody on this channel. I will let people come on this channel. And you saw my interview with Jeff Berlin. I let him speak his piece. I let him tell his story, his side of stuff. Hey, now P-Funk, I think Boxcar Willie is passed. Just like Slim Whitman, bro. Here's the deal. Slim Whitman. If I get Slim Whitman, bro, I'm going to be bigger. I'll be bigger than Beato, bro. Bigger than Beato. Here's the deal. I would want to interview Janie and just talk to us about Ed. Tell us who Ed was to you, and how are you dealing with the loss and some stuff like that. I don't want to drag people through the mud. That's because here's the thing. I know she's a former publicist. So she probably thinks, I don't want anything. It's like asking a pizza worker to make you a pizza when he gets home. Don't want to have anything to do with it. And now that she's, living her life or whatever, she probably just wants to slink off into the distance. Until people have something that they want to promote, They're probably not going to want to do an interview, you know, and that's the reality. Now, who did I have recently? I've had a couple people on that just go, I'm not really promoting stuff. I just want to come on and tell their story. The amazing interview. If you're a rock star member of the channel, there's an amazing interview with Adam Gifford, who was the legendary singer of a Sunset Strip band called Paradise. And that is an incredible interview with so much inside Sunset Strip information and all that. That interview is amazing. That's it, man. I'm going to have that guy back because he knows so much. He moved out to LA in like 79, and so he saw the whole thing from Motley Crue and everything just blow up. So that is an amazing story, and I'm going to have him back. And thank you, Peyton, for being here. So that's the deal, man. I'm gonna get some great interviews coming up, and and people that help. Dr. Starr has helped a lot to get some interviews, and that would be amazing. Let's see. Yeah, JC, you're right. What old school artists are trying to promote a new project and then reach out? That is true, JC. And a lot of times, a lot of people I have reached out to, and I've told them, hey, if you've got something you want to promote, or hey, I see you have an album coming out, I'd love to have you on the channel. Man, I've had young up and coming artists who I've reached out to and said, hey, you're writing music in the style of Van Halen. I've got the Van Halen people that watch my channel would love to hear your music. Come on my channel. And their publicist goes, well, wait for my next email and we'll be picking people for, like, dude, just get on the damn computer and do the interview. And I'll direct people. Here's another thing that might be happening on the channel. There's an amazing guitar shop here in Tampa called Replay Music. And I've been seeing their videos. I did a short clip on them on the channel and reached out to their internet guy. And I said, hey, man, you know what? Let's do a collab. Let me come in. I'll do some content for their channel. I'm gonna shoot some content there at their place and put that on my channel, help promote their business, and that'll be some different stuff for the channel, right? That'll be maybe go down there and try out a bunch of guitars and show how I would pick out an instrument, what I would go. I can literally usually, if I'm going to a store to buy an instrument or even think about buying an instrument, I can go in and I can literally look at the guitar, and if I think, okay, wait a minute, this looks kind of cool, I'll pick it up, and I can usually tell just by picking it up, one, by the weight, but the feel of it when I hold it, I can tell whether I would want to buy it or not. And that's just an innate feeling. Just like if I buy a guitar on Sweetwater, I look at the pictures, I study them, I look at the weight, I read as much, I watch as many reviews online or whatever, and I don't hesitate buying something from Sweetwater. I know, I don't think I've ever sent a guitar back to Sweetwater. I buy it, I see the pictures, I see if I like the grain of the wood, I read the specs, I know it's the exact guitar that I'm ordering, and I see the weight, and that's a lot of what I go by. And so that's the deal, man. There's going to be cool stuff. FMP's saying Beato's raking in the dough. He must be in order to pay 6 people. He has to be. right? But here's the deal. Beato has his Beato book. I know Paul had talked about it. He's got the Beato book. And that's something I may have to do down the road, is have a book. Could be a book about the Sunset Strip, or it could be a series of videos, courses. I'm thinking maybe I need to do an upper level of membership that would include maybe a monthly guitar lesson, or maybe I do another level of membership that has a bunch of like 1 hour lessons or something like that. Book about the Sunset Strip, that would be a great thing. That would be a great book. And after speaking, because here's the thing, I can tell my story about the Strip, but after doing all these interviews with people, I could compile all that stuff and expand on it, put my experience about it and why it ended and why it's never coming back. Dan's saying the book better contain a bunch of pics. Yeah, I will go through. In fact, I need to go in my storage area, and I need to make sure those pictures. I've got old photo books and stuff like that. A lot of those pictures are now in one of those old photo books, and you got to peel them off and scan them in. But there's still a bunch of pictures that I've never scanned, and there's nothing with really any celebrities. I never was one of those guys that, oh, there's David Lee Roth and let me get a picture with him. The only guy that I remember taking a picture with was Lemmy one night, hanging out with Lemmy. That I've never been able to find that picture. I didn't have a copy of it. I had to reach out to the person that had the picture and say, hey, do you have this picture? And they don't have it. You got to you've got to have an old photo that lasts 30 or 40 years. So this stuff is rare, man. These flyers, people are selling their flyer collections and stuff. The Beato interview with Yngwie is amazing. It's amazing. He's another guy. The first night I was on the Strip, the first night I went into the Rainbow, who did I see? Yngwie walked right past me. Right past me and my pops, going into that bar, the dark bar area inside. So, man, here's the deal. We've had a good night tonight. We did about 8 minutes of overtime. I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to air the Vicki Hamilton interview, and it's going to be awesome. So join me tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, for a Mother's Day special interview with Vicki Hamilton, a mother figure for the band Guns N' Roses and many amazing artists. It's a cool interview, and I will see you guys all tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everybody have a great day, night, whatever it is, wherever you are in the world. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hit that thumbs up on the way out. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Thank you so much. Demonetized, thanks for dropping in, everybody. So, yes, that would be 7 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow. Yes, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Vicki Hamilton interview. Join us tomorrow morning. Have a great night, everybody. See you soon.